And now, Suspense. Your host tonight on the Autolite Theater is the maker of the famous Autolite Stay Full battery, the battery that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. From bumper to tail light, Autolite makes over 400 products for cars and trucks. Spark plugs, bumpers, hubcaps, headlights, radiator grills, batteries, wire and cable, ignition systems, speedometers, instruments, tail lights, and many more. So remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. And now Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations everywhere present Suspense.
You'll have to hurry. It's got to begin soon.
One Lowe's, please.
Oh, I see. Here you are.
35.
Did you want this? It should change.
Thank
Yes,
you.
that's right.
Here you are, honey. Newsreel, sports short, travelogue, Bugs Bunny, and a double feature. Time you get out, you'll have a double chin.
I bet my double feature won't last any longer than your double header. Last time you went to Ebbetsfield, the dinner was ruined.
Oh. Well, enjoy yourself.
Ernest, you are wearing your disc, aren't you?
Yes, dear.
And the letter.
Right here. And in my best handwriting, please open and read.
It should be pinned to your pocket. You might lose it. You know, you always take off your coat at a ball game.
You are a fussy old hen.
Well, I can't help worrying about you whenever you're out of my sight.
Well, I wish you wouldn't. You perpetually remind me of my affliction.
I'm sorry, Ernest, but I can't help it. Because every time you get excited, you're so likely to get an attack.
Well, darling, I'm not going to get excited. It will probably be a very dull game. DeRocher isn't with the Dodgers anymore. Now you go on in. Have a good romantic fling with Dennis Morgan.
All right. Have a good game.
Guy's out cold. All right, get back and keep moving. Don't stand around like a lot of people. This ain't a circus. Here, you. Beat it over to that drugstore and call an ambulance.
I've got to see something.
All right, please. We got to prop him up. We can use his coat. Yeah.
Be careful.
I'm watching that.
Now, be gentle. Put him down gently, please. Goodness. Oh. Don't there. Now, he's hurt bad.
He can't be hurt badly, officer. I hardly touched him at all. I just tapped him gently. Oh, yeah? Must have been very gentle because he ain't breathing. Yeah, he's got all limp, too. Can always tell it's happened when they fall over like this.
Well, what's happened? You don't mean that
Just what I do mean, pal. Your gentle little tap has knocked this guy right onto a slab in the morgue.
Place reeks of mothballs. Let's get out. We won't find anything here.
Well, we won't if we don't look.
Oh, I don't know why I ever married such a determined woman.
To bolster your supine character.
And what might you be looking for, my friend?
Hello. My husband needs a sports jacket, something rather smart.
Might I suggest he tries Abercrombie and Fitch's?
He would, if he wasn't an actor.
The theater's a discouraging job. Like me old.
How right you are. Would you believe that my husband's been in 3 plays in the last season and they've only run 2 weeks among them? Well, now he has a chance to do summer stock, and in the very first play he has to be a millionaire in Philadelphia story.
That's rubbing it in for sure.
Oh, and how? That's why he needs a sports jacket. Actors have to supply their own clothes, you know. Of course, it's very different
Look,
when you're
Fran, I'm sure the gentleman isn't interested in my life story. Now, do you happen to have some kind of a coat that would be suitable for an idle playboy?
Well, maybe. There's a grey heron going over here, might fit the bill with a little imagination.
Oh.
Oh, it looks quite possible, Hank. After all, millionaires are supposed to be very eccentric. They hate parting with a nickel and love hanging on to old clothes.
The one in Philadelphia story doesn't. He's perfectly normal.
No, that would take too much imagination.
It would strain it a bit.
I guess I'll have to spend part of my first week's salary on a new one.
Hey, what about this one? Looks hardly worn at all. Sacks, that.
That's not for sale, girlie.
Why not? Is it your own?
Well, you see, I haven't put it into my stock yet. I picked it up only this morning. In fact, I was just given it the spit and polish when you came in. There's stains on the collar. Red wine, by the looks of them.
Oh, I could get them off as well as you. I know all of the tricks. Anyway, they wouldn't show up under footlights. Here, handsome, try it on. Very elegant. You look right out of escort. How much do you want for it?
$8, as is.
Well, that's very reasonable. I think I'll take
You
it.
will not. Why, $8 for a horrible old stained bit of junk like that? Here you are. $5, as is. Take it or leave it.
Well, seeing your pretty Irish eyes, I won't argue with you. Shall I wrap it up for you?
Oh, no, thank you. Besides, you might charge us for the Scotch steak. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Come on.
Bye-bye. Hey, you know, honey, that was a real bargain. But I can't figure out why you let it go so cheaply. Why, it must have cost at least $75 new.
Let him explain, darling. It was my pretty Irish eyes.
Yeah, well, that was certainly a ham performance of a stingy housewife that you gave. Look, Fran, you know it upsets me. Why do you do it?
Oh, you're too inhibited. You know, Hank, I don't think these are wine stains. They don't seem to be coming out at all. Wouldn't be at all surprised if they were blood stains.
Maybe the old crook bumped off the owner. I wouldn't put anything past that character.
Hey, wait a minute. There's something stuck in here. Must be a very important document for someone to pin it to their person. They obviously didn't want to lose it. Please open and read.
Maybe we've come into money.
I carry this wherever I go. It is to advise responsible parties that I am a cataleptic. My body must not be molested for a period of 72 hours, neither by autopsy nor by embalming. The maximum periods of my attack seldom exceed 4 hours. Please telephone my wife, Mrs. Margaret Bowers, at Gramercy 98989. If she is not at home, try Dr. Mackenzie, Plaza 36762. This is of vital importance. It may mean my life. Ernest Bowers. Well, what do you know?
Oh, it's probably just a gag.
Against whom? Darling, what is a cataleptic exactly?
Oh, don't ask me. I went to a dramatic school, not John Hopkins.
Well, let's look it up in the dictionary. Oh. Catacomb, here we are, catalepsy. A bodily condition marked by suspension of sensation and muscular rigidity. A seizure closely resembling death in all aspects, including the primary stages of rigor mortis.
That's a grim thought. Now look, Fran, don't start getting any ideas. The owner probably just forgot to remove the letter when he sold the coat.
This doesn't sound like something someone would easily forget. Hey, I wonder if he did sell it to the Irishman.
Fran, why shouldn't he have?
Well, in the first place, it looks too new. In the second place, there are those spots. And if they are what I think they are, blood, well, then there might have been an accident. Oh, Henry. In that case, I can think of awful things happening.
Yes, I know, but don't. Now, look, Fran, if the man was injured, he was probably taken to a hospital and treated.
Yes, but think. Supposing somehow he got separated from his coat and then had one of these attacks. Well, they might presume he was dead and perform an autopsy or whatever they do.
Well, in that case, the man's been buried for days.
The shopkeeper said he'd only just got the coat.
Well, then Mrs. Bowers must have sold it after her husband's death.
Well, I think I'll telephone her anyway. I've got an awful premonition.
You and your premonition.
No answer.
Well, go ahead. Call up the doctor. It'll put that dizzy mind of yours at rest.
I was intending to.
Hey, you know, friend, you ought to give up acting. Write mystery stories. You might be more successful.
Oh, I could hardly be less. Hello. Is Dr. Mackenzie there, please? Oh, is this his nurse? Oh, I see. Well, have you any idea when he will be back? Oh. Thank you. Thank you very much. He's away on vacation, motoring down south. That was just his answering service.
Well, that's that. We've come to a dead end.
Yes. But I can't help thinking. Has Ernest Bowers come to a dead end, too?
There he goes. There's the throw down. He's safe. Jackie Robinson's safe. That's the fifth base he's stolen this season, folks. Oh, how that boy can run. Pleasure to watch him keep around. Well, that brings up Roy Castell batting in a roll straight game. Score is now 4-3 in favor of the Cards.
Hey, Tony. Super sent another accident down for you. Came in from the hospital a few minutes ago. No identification.
Holy cow. Why do so many people have to get knocked off on Saturday afternoons? Don't they know I'm the only one on duty?
The general public likes to keep its city employees busy.
Hey, you know, I'm going to ask for a raise. I've done 5 jobs today already.
Think of the artistic pleasure you get. Remember what the super says. Embalming ain't just hack work, boys. It's an art. Why, when you get through with the stiff, Tony, it looks more lively than when it was alive.
Go lay on a slab.
Nice looking young fellow. You'll do a beautiful job on him.
You'll have to wait. I'm not going to lift a finger until I hear the rest of that ball game.
Suit yourself, bud. But the super says you've got to finish this one before you quit for the day.
just a moment, we'll bring you the second act of Dead Ernest, starring Margaret Phillips and Todd Andrews. While we're waiting, I'd like to tell you about a young doctor who's really going places. Now, that is. Although he wasn't going much of any place one particular day not long ago. Here he is, Dr. Nicholas Nostrom, starting out on his first case. Pretty important case, too, and Doc's got everything with him. Uh-oh, everything that is but a good battery. Say, looks like the Doc is up against some pretty stiff competition on his first case. Well, the young Doc put out a hurry call, so we got up to his place in a jiffy with a brand new Autolite Stay Full battery. You see, his trouble was that his old battery was just plain run down. It was weak from lack of water. Now, you know that batteries need water, and an ordinary battery needs water often. But an Autolite Stay Full battery in normal car use needs water only 3 times a year. Think of it. In normal car use, you need fill your Autolite Stay Full battery only 3 times a year. That's because of the greater liquid reserve. A Stay Full battery has 3.5 times as much water above the plates as an ordinary battery. That means your plates are always covered, always packed with power. Think how important that is to your car. And consider some of these other features of the Stay Full battery. The Stay Full has extra plates for extra positive power. And another thing, your Stay Full battery is protected by fiberglass insulation for longer life and stronger life. So take a tip from me. Get a battery that helps give you dependable starting, the longer-lasting Autolite Stay Full battery. Well, sir, we operated on young Doc's car and nothing flat. We put in a new Autolite Stay Full battery, and the operation was a 100% success. The Doc took off, and he got there in plenty of time to be the first man to shake hands with the captain of the local 1965 football team. Why don't you check with your Autolite dealer tomorrow? Ask him about an Autolite Stay Full battery for your car. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. Now, continuing this story of suspense, we bring you the second act of Dead Ernest.
First-class woman, nor a first-class human being, until you've learned to have some regard for human frailty. It's a pity your own foot can't slip a little some... Hey, honey, come out of the ether. You're dropping more peas on the rug than in the pot.
Honey, I can't stand it a moment longer. I've got to find out where this man got this coat.
But, honey, it's after 5 o'clock. The shop will be closed.
Well, it may not be. I'm going over there anyway. You stay here and study your lines.
Oh, no. Whither thou goest, I go. End of quote.
Oh, good.
Besides, I can show off my new coat.
Come on, then, let's hurry. Back in a few minutes.
That probably means an hour if I know an Irishman's sense of time.
Well, let's go to the drugstore and call up Mrs. Bowers again. Looks as though she's settled there for the weekend.
Now, take it easy, Fran. Don't get so intense about everything.
Well, I can't help it. I've got a single-track mind.
There, I think she's finished now.
Good. You're an optimist. She's looking for more change. You know, I had an instinct she was a telephone hog.
Well, now, relax, Fran. She'll run out of nickels eventually.
Well, eventually seems to be now a break for a change.
I'm coming right back.
I'll wait for you. And now, look, Fran. Be careful how you handle this thing. Because if your hunch is right, and there is something screwy, why, you might give this Mrs. Bowers an awful shock.
No luck. Let's go back to the shop and see if that man's back yet. Oh, Mr. Murdoch, I'm so glad you're back.
Ah, the young lady with the Irish eyes. And what would you be wanting this time?
You sold my husband this jacket this afternoon, remember?
Yes, I remember. I practically gave it to the man.
It had some stains on it.
Sure, I told you that. No, don't tell me you're asking me to take it back. Second-hand goods are not returnable, girlie.
No, we don't want to return it. Those were blood stains. We want to know where you got it.
And what business might that be of yours?
It may be a matter of life or death.
Oh, come on now. You're exaggerating.
I assure you are not.
Well, I don't remember where I got the thing.
That's nonsense.
Now, look, you told us you picked it up this morning. You must have a very short memory.
Hold your horses. What is this? The third degree?
I want to know.
We just want an answer to my question. Where did you get that coat?
Then you answer me one of my own. Why is it you have to know?
There was a letter pinned in the pocket saying that the owner of the coat had attacks, which make him seem to be dead when he's really only in some sort of a trance. Now, sometimes they take unidentified corpses to the morgue where they embalm them and drain all the blood out of them. You wouldn't want that to happen to someone who is alive, would you?
Indeed I would not, my dearie. Devil a bit. I'd never have touched the thing if I'd known there was a curse on it. I'd have left it lying on the street where I found it.
You just found it in the street.
Well, you see, there was an accident.
Now we're getting something.
So it was an injured person's coat. Well, now, look, how did you get the coat off?
They propped his head up under it, and when the ambulance took him away, they just
Where
left
was
it.
this and when?
After lunch, West 12th Street, opposite Granny's Movie Theater.
Come on, let's go back to the drugstore.
For the love of God, don't give me away to the police. Hey, young lady, this is the devil of a business.
Look up the number of the city morgue while I call Mrs. Bowers.
Hello? 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 Oh, nuts. I might have saved my breath.
Second game of a doubleheader here at Eversfield, folks. Now I just gave go to win the opener by a score.
Super's gone home. He said you can go home, too, when you finish that accident. Oh, I haven't even started on it yet.
Why don't you work and listen at the same time?
Oh, I like to concentrate on my yacht. Hey, what do you say, Al? Stick around and give me a hand, will you? I'll get through that much more quickly.
Okay.
Don't answer it. If you do the hospital, send me another stiff and I'll be here all night.
But, Tony, it's my job.
Please don't answer it.
Okay, I'll leave the receiver off the hook. They'll think it's busy and get tired.
Thanks. You're a doll.
What do you want me to do?
Move the table over here while I get into my mother hubbard. What did I do with that scalpel?
I must try spraying my roses with this stuff. Ought to knock the bugs for a loop.
Oh, I can't understand it. The line's continuously busy.
Well, maybe the line's out of order. Call the operator.
Hello, operator. Look, I've been trying to get the number of the city morgue for about half an hour. There must be something wrong about it.
We'll need that bottle.
Huh?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Good boy. Here. I think I'll make the incision in the neck.
I thought you were supposed to stick this thing in the abdomen.
Oh, I like to vary my work. Hand me a piece of gauze, will you? Oh, dear. Don't answer it.
Okay. You know, he didn't have any coat on when they brought him in here, and that's very funny because he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be caught dead within his shirt sleeves.
I can't see a darn thing. My glasses are all clouded up. Must be steamy in here. Turn the fan on, will you, Al? It's cold and clammy, if you ask me.
Funny. You wouldn't think that a little thing like a heart stopping would make a man dead and not alive.
My glasses are all clouded up again. I wonder.
Hello, mortuary caretaker speaking. Yes? What? Say that again, lady. There's some dame on the phone babbling about some guy with no coat that may not be dead.
Hey, wait a minute. I was just getting the same idea.
What's that?
Come here, Al. Take a look at this guy. Am I crazy? Aren't his lips moving?
Yeah. He's free.
Hello? Hello, please, hello. Why don't you answer me? You've got a live man there.
Oh, my God. Get a hold of that dame that's on the phone. Tell her to come down here. Maybe she can identify him.
Thank you, Margaret Phillips and Todd Andrews, for splendid performance in Dead Ernest. This is Rex Marshall speaking for Autolite, and in just a moment I'll tell you about next week's suspense story. But first, here's a parade of Autolite products. Some of the more than 400 products made in the Autolite plant from coast to coast. The horns, the windshield wipers, relays, and spark coils, spark plugs, ignition-engineered resistor spark plugs. Yes, Autolite makes more than 400 automotive parts in its 28 plants from coast to coast. There's the wire and the battery cable. Here come the starting motors, followed by the distributors. There are the generators and the gas gauges. And now, of course, the batteries, Autolite Stay Full batteries, the batteries that need water only 3 times a year in normal car use. So insist on Autolite original factory parts at your neighborhood service station, car dealer, garage, or repair shop. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. Be with us next Tuesday to see Postmortem, another gripping story in suspense. Be sure to listen to Suspense each Thursday night on your radio. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.